r/AskReddit by Keyboard Warrior comments. What is the most extreme misuse of an everyday item you have ever witnessed? My friend's kid decided to make a grilled cheese sandwich with an iron on the couch. Burned a nice iron-shaped hole in the couch. Kid was 15 at the time. In college and living in the dorms, my roommate and I had an iron specifically for grilled cheese, no burned couches though. And probably blazed as hell. Yet I wouldn't want to break it to his friend, but that kid is either severely behind in critical thinking or driving Maseratis on Mars or both. Roommates in college used laundry pods in the dishwasher for like a week. I hand washed my dishes, so it did not affect me. They only noticed because I asked why they always left their laundry pods on the kitchen counter. My high school Spanish teacher would use her computer's disk tray as a shelf for her coffee mug. If her computer was anything like the ancient things my school makes me do lesson plans on, she was probably just praying every day that the coffee would accidentally spill. This was a story that a colleague told me that happened on the day I was off back in the day I used to work for a hotel. Apparently some Chinese guests came to reception to complain that the microwave wasn't working. We didn't have microwaves in the room, so when coming to inspect the problem, she found out that they were trying to microwave a pizza in the room safe. Used to work in a hotel as well. Several times we had Asian guests hang their clothes to dry from the fire sprinklers hanging from their room ceilings. This sets the sprinklers off and caused thousands of dollars of damage to multiple rooms each time it happened. One family was mad at us and wanted compensation for all their wet clothes and electronics. Maybe not applicable here, but we also had a foreign guest call 911 because they were out of tea bags in their room. Walked into my sister's room and she had maxi pads laying everywhere with Barbies on top. She's like, "Look at all these Barbie sleeping bags I found. That's adorable." Depends on how old the sister is. What's the age cut-off point where it goes from cute to kinda sketch to creepy? My adult brother-in-law once used steel wool to scrub his parents' oak dining table. That still floors me after like a decade. Has he ever had to do a cleanup chore at a family gathering after that? It's the long con: if you screw up so bad people react in horror once they never ask for help again. This is exactly what I suspected. Snorting nutmeg to get high. A little gets you pie, a little more gets you high, and a little more gets you cardiac arrest. A little more makes you die. Oh nice, makes works better for all three stages. Thanks. Using a microwave to dry a smartphone. After running said smartphone under tap water to clean it, this was like 7 years ago, I don't think the phone was waterproof. Person who did this was good academically but had no common sense whatsoever. It baffled me. Anyone know if the new iPhones are microwave proof? Only one way to find out. We had a housemate who used to get home very drunk and try and cook himself elaborate meals, which always resulted in a lot of mess and noise. To combat this, I turned the oven and electrical sockets in the kitchen off when he went out one night. Foolproof. The fool cooked himself steak in the living room with our clothes iron at 3 a.m. You made the mistake of not counting on him being a better fool than you were a foolproofer. That's akin to the engineering adage that states every time you try to make something idiot-proof, the world creates a better idiot. I used to work at a golf course doing lawn maintenance. We had a fella on our crew that was older and well, not the brightest. He was kind of a loner, so we just let him be most of the time. One day, I saw our guy mowing some large berms with one of our push mowers. To save time, I guess, he left the mower running, then picked it up to put in the back of the truck. He still had all his fingers, but the truck tailgate took a good hit. Does nobody in these stories have the safety thing on the handle that shuts down the mower when you let go? Using a microwave to dry clothes. There were flames. I'm working in the operating theater. We removed a very large eggplant from a very normal-sized asshole. Not anymore. At least not for a while. But old habits die hard. I'm sure that guy went and got another one. Edit. I'm assuming it's a guy because whenever I hear about people getting things lodged up their asses, 9 times out of 10 it's a dude. There's nothing wrong with that. Gotta stimulate that prostate somehow. Another eggplant, or another asshole. About 9 years ago a coworker hammered a paint tin lid back on with the handle of my torque wrench, still mad at that guy. Using my fabric shears to cut wire and plastic packaging. And now he's butthurt that my new fabric shears have a padlock through the handles. I used to live 2 doors down from the neighborhood's crazy lady and she would often vacuum her grass after it was mowed. What do you expect when assholes keep walking through her yard without taking their shoes off first? I did not witness it, but my grandma had used a vibrator as a massaging stick for her back pain because the box had stated massage stick. The way we found out was hilarious though. When we visited her one day she started telling how she went to the shop where she bought her massage stick and asked the boy to change the batteries. She did not understand why the boy had refused and why he acted weird. Then she asked my mom if she could change the batteries and gave my mom the vibrator. I still feel sorry for the kid behind the counter at the shop. Haha. My grandmother, many years ago, gave me a massage stick for Christmas. She didn't know what it was. My mother took it away from me. It's in her top drawer if you want it back. But wash it well first. Cop here. I've seen several people using the portable air pumps that come with air mattresses to blow into their DWI ignition interlock to start their cars and keep them running. Does that work? Surprisingly well in some cases. Some breathalyzer devices now require you to make a sound/reverberation whilst blowing. Others require you to inhale through the straw after blowing into it for a while. These are the only acceptable devices in Australia. Fake. Saw a woman using an Oyster card. It's a London bus pass the same size and material as a credit card, as a sort of spoon to eat a lasagna out of a Tupperware on the bus. Sorta general, but the whole using hot peppers, cinnamon, glue to embiggen lips thing. There's a TikTok going about with a girl using lash glue to glue her upper lip to her skin to make it hotter, plumper, and I think it's not long until superglue is used for the same purpose. But I mean, it's not like emergency rooms have anything better to do, so. Upvoted for good use of embiggen. My wife routinely uses butter knives as flat screwdrivers. I once caught her using an ice cream scoop as a hammer. We've talked about it. I bought her tools. Now she keeps an old-ishy butter knife in the back of the drawer for fast, easy battery changes and uses a hammer as a hammer. My mom has one of these all-purpose butter knives too. I think it's kind of endearing. She used to keep it in with the regular silverware, but at some point after we last moved I noticed it's been relegated to the junk drawer where she keeps her hammer and other odds and ends. I once witnessed a dude washing out condoms and hanging them to dry. Insert shuddering here. I need to know more. What the F situation were you in when you discovered this real-life horror? Don't overreact, it's not unhygienic if you're saving them for scrapbooking. Plus you never have to buy water balloons. You can save a ton of money that way. Did you know this person? Did you say anything to him? Were they ribbed for her pleasure? Give us some more details please. I knew him a bit, not long though. He was an edgelord and always broke somehow, although he had a good paying job. They were standards, no ribbon. Watch above for more details. Someone playing a shooter game to use their Xbox One controller for a massage? Yes. Massage? Someone. You effed that Xbox controller, didn't you? Ah, the old cooking while naked dilemma. Right in front of my salad. Not extreme, but 2 of our graphic design juniors using caps lock for a single capital letter. I had never seen anyone do this and they both joined within a space of a month. We'll never understand how or why they can work like that. I raise you a colleague who filled her computer desktop up with files, many of which appeared to be notes. Seeing it was full, she stopped using the machine and instead converted the laptop, still on, lit, full screen of icon overload visible, to a board for physical post-it notes. Layers and layers of them. I hate this more. The vacuum in my apartment, which my roommate's drunk boyfriend seems to think needs to be running at 2:01 a.m. It's a sex aid. Or they used the vacuum as a white noise machine to fall asleep. Not really an everyday thing unless you're a tradesman, but I've seen way too many people try to pound screws in with a hammer. When all you've got is a hammer, everything is a nail. Rule 1. Always use the right tool. Rule 2. A hammer is always the right tool. Rule 3. Anything can be used as a hammer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.